Alright, so Ascended Heroes has come out a few weeks ago at this point. Official release date was at the end of January. So, since it's been legal now for a little while, at least for unofficial formats like Gym Leader Challenge, I thought it would be fun to take a look at some tournament results and see what's been doing well in the competitive meta. Let's see if any of our predictions came true, if there's any cards from Ascended Heroes that are seeing play, and just things like that. So we're going to be looking at mostly online tournaments from playlimitless.com. You can go to this website and it'll show you. You can filter by Gym Leader Challenge, and you can look at if they've got deck lists. A lot of them do. Also scraped a lot of social media sites, so sites like X and Discord, and found a few winning lists that way. So let's take a look and see what's been doing well. Starting off with actually a tournament that came before Ascended Heroes, but I just wanted to call this one out. So I think we're going to look at Dragon first. And George Rhodes went 4-0 with this update to the Drago box list, the one that uses a lot of basics. And they used this Koraidon, which is a really cool innovation, since this Koraidon has a few things going for it. First of all, it's a fire energy attacker, so it synergizes with a lot of fire attackers that are already in Dragon, like Regidrago and Drodagon. It's an ancient Pokemon, just like the Raging Bolt, so you can use Sada's Vitality on it. And it's got a Shred attack, which can go through cards like Marshadow, which I could see being a big pain in the butt for Dragon, because after they hit you with a Tinglu, most of your dragons are going to go down to a Marshadow with a Muscle Band plus Strong Energy. So really cool take on combining Drago Box with Ancient Dragons. So congratulations to George, who went 4-0 with this list. And now for an update on Ascended Heroes in Dragon. So we did see an appearance by Regidrago in Caspar Emmentaler's list. Said he had 4 wins and got their Dragon Badge against Fire, Fighting, and 2 Colorless decks. So here's the deck rotated for us. So said Rayquaza was excellent. It got 2 wins all by itself, so it was likely able to do the Breakthrough Assault and then a bunch of spam Dragon Claw for the win. So that's the Rayquaza being played, and of course Poképad most likely making an appearance. I think I see it right there. So there's the Poképad. So this is Regidrago updated with the Rayquaza. So also seeing the Crystal Cave being played, most likely for use against Tinglu. Also really cool innovation here with the Zinnia. This card is, if one of your Pokemon gets knocked out, just like with Raihan, you can attach up to 2 basic energy from your hand to one of your dragons. And they said it worked quite well for them. So an interesting tech card for Drago Box that we might potentially see more players using. Now, as far as Evolution Dragons go, we had a 10-player GLC webcam tournament that was won by Fireball, who went 3-0 with a Rayquaza in their list with a Garchomp and Flapple as well. So we're not seeing the Dragonair in this one, but we do see the Garchomp making a reappearance along with the Flapple, which I think is an excellent attacker for Dragon, and then Rayquaza being played here as well. And Evolution Dragons certainly did get another buff with the introduction of Poképad here. So 3-0, congrats to Fireball. Okay, but here's the deck that I really wanted to talk about, and one of the reasons I decided to put out this video, because, you know, Morse makes those guys already did a really good video breaking down some of the recent decks in the meta, but they didn't talk about this deck, the Larry's Colorless deck that won a badge by Michael, aka at that Monado Boy. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They posted this to X from a couple weeks ago, and we kind of speculated that Larry's Pokemon might be playable, but apparently it's good enough to go, I believe, 3-0. Actually, I'm not sure. I reached out to this player to get some more information, but I haven't seen a response yet, so I'm just going to go ahead with the video. But using the Larry's Komala to charge up either Larry's Braviary as an early attacker doing 120, or then a Larry's Staraptor, which can do 150. And both of these Pokemon can also use the Ignition Energy and we see that he's using more of an aggressive strategy, so trying to run the opponent off the board with a quick Larry's Braviary, and then kind of cleaning up with Kangaskhan or this Greedent, which combined with a Bibarel, you can discard your hand, then drop to 5 with Bibarel, and then you discard it again with the Greedent for 210 damage. So super fun deck. I think the only thing I would criticize is that I feel like there's no Hops package in this deck, and I just feel like Hops Cramorant is just kind of the better version of Kangaskhan at this point. Like, I can understand people running both, but I feel like if you're gonna run Kangaskhan, you might as well just run Hops Cramorant instead. You're still doing 120. You're doing it. It's kind of your mid-game attacker, but it's resistant to fighting instead of weak to fighting, and it only costs 1 energy instead of costing 2. Plus, you got easy ways to boost it with the Hops Choice Band, with the Snorlax, with the Stadium, that you can be doing, 150 for 1, 180 for 0 energy. That Cramorant is just crazy. So I feel like they could easily swap in some Hops package into this deck and make it even better. So that is awesome. So moving on, I do want to call out, we had several Drill Mill decks winning. So if you haven't seen my short about the Drill Mill deck, this is a sort of a control deck, but not really. It's kind of more of like just a combo deck where you create this unkillable Excadrill with a Focus Sash, and then you just keep looping that over and over again with Focus Sash, Max Potion, and Excadrill's Rototiller. So we had a 3-0 win in an online tournament by Count Sliggoo. So good job to Count Sliggoo. And we also had somebody posting a victory for themselves on X. Gilbert Vasquez says he got a 3-0 win at a local tournament with the Drill Mill deck. So congratulations to Gilbert. And then as far as fighting decks go, I wanted to call out this Garganacl deck. If you guys watched my last league video, I talked about how my favorite Pokemon is Machamp in fighting, but I felt like the deck wasn't quite working. Well, this player, who is this? Chud Jack Gaming went 5-0 in a 20-player online tournament with this Machamp Garganacl deck. So super awesome. Feeling a bit vindicated, like I could have gotten there. Also still playing the Terrakion. So congratulations. You can see that it's not just RDT fighting that is succeeding in the meta right now. You've also got decks like this with the stage 2s that can hang. As far as Psychic, we're seeing interesting a lot of Gardevoir Psychic being played, but also the Garb Frillish deck is still seeing a lot of play on both online and at places like Full Grip, and apparently at people's locals. This is the Garb Frillish deck, which uses item locked Frillish along with Garbodor to lock people down while they take knockouts with Iron Boulder. So be prepared to face this at locals because people are starting to play it more, including players like Chase, who I know won the Full Grip League a couple weeks back, and at the Tall Mage TCG also posted they were able to get a badge with the deck. Another development that has come up recently is Lo-Fi Water has won 2 tournaments, but it's 2 different versions. We had Umbral go 3-0 in an online tournament using this low energy water deck, which uses cards like Misty Starmie, the Vanguard Punch Palafin, and then damage modifiers from things like Quick Shooting Inteleon and this Greninja, Water Shuriken Greninja, which can do 30 damage. And just taking quick knockouts with low amounts of energy, not playing anything like Baxcalibur, nothing like Frostmoth, trying to set up stuff on the bench. Is just go, attack quickly and early with your attackers. And then we saw actually a similar deck being played by Mickey at another tournament. This was in a 9-player tournament. Umbro won a 12-player tournament, but Mickey went 3-0 in a 9-player tournament with a similar list, but using the Feraligatr with Giant Wave as one of the attackers, along with the Misty Starmie, the Vanguard Punch Palafin, and then using the Shady Dealings Inteleon. So a little less focused on damage modifying, instead just like Feraligatr's your big hitter that can do 280 damage and knock out anything that the opponent might put in front of it. And then for metal, Count Sligo once again went 4-0 this time in a 14-player online tournament with the Crunch Time Rush Orthworm that does 240 damage for 3 energy if you have 3 or fewer cards in the deck. So you can do that with cards like Pokepad and let's see, Professor's Research and Clay. So you can kind of empty your deck out very quickly. Very interesting metal list that we've heard about, but was able to succeed with a 4-0 victory. Dark also getting a win under Alex Carpenter in a 14-player online tournament. This is a Guzzlord deck that's also, of course, playing Toxtricity and Lipard, but then using the Golbat and Crobat as an additional draw engine. So able to draw cards when you play these to evolve them with also decent attack. And then finally, we're going to talk about some fire decks, and we have another 3-0 deck from Alex Carpenter, the Pig Pony Slug Fire deck, which apparently is the name of this deck, which is very funny. Pig Pony Slug. So this is a Blaziken Emboar deck that uses the Inferno Kick Flurry Blaziken from Destin's Rivals, which, you know, I had said was very disappointing in one of my previous videos, but with that and Emboar and some really interesting card choices here with the Fiery Flint to get 4 energy from the deck, not playing the Charizard. So we've seen Charizard and Emboar together as kind of an engine that people have used. This just going straight for just only Emboar. You also got cards like Entei and Heatmore that take a ton of energy to power up, and they're doing that with cards like Fiery Flint and Superior Energy Retrieval. No Fire Breather though from Phantasmal Flames. That seems like it could have been good, but it is a supporter, so probably that's why they're playing the Fiery Flint as an item. You can just do that instead. So that went 3-0, a very interesting deck. I'm gonna have to try it out myself. And then finally, we've got one more deck. This is a 3-0 deck. This was played at a local store in the Philippines. Mark Lee went 3-0 at his local tournament with this fire list using Darmanitan from Phantasmal Flames. I said this card was terrible, just worse than Reshiram, but it went 3-0. And it's not like it played bad decks either. They had 3 Psychic decks. They went 3-0 against 3 Psychic decks, including a Xatu Blindside standard Psychic build, a Lost Box build, and a Garbotoxin Frillish. These were like meta Psychic decks, and he beat all of them. Not only running the Darmanitan with the Charizard, of course, but running the 100-Foot Flames Mill Centiskorch. So dude's just taking knockouts with Entei, taking double prizes with Heatmore, and then if everything goes wrong, like, just mill them out. Just mill them out with a Centiskorch. Like, I'm not taking 6 prizes this game. Let's get rid of your deck. Let's mill 18 cards from your deck with this Centiskorch. So I thought that was hilarious, because usually, they are playing the Fire Breather in this deck. Usually when you see a Centiskorch, that's like the dedicated win condition, but it's clearly not in this deck. We've got the Darmanitan, we've got the Entei, the Chi-Yu, and the Heatmore, and the Emboar's here too. So there's the Emboar and Charizard. We've got a bunch of attackers taking knockouts, and then we've just got this Mill Centiskorch. So 3-0, awesome fire deck. Love to see it. So those are some of the decks we're seeing being played in the meta, doing well. Like I said, no Dragonair yet, but I saw one Dragonair deck list. Let me see if I can go back and find it. So yeah, nothing yet with Dragonair, unfortunately. This is a list from Z-Man Cuddles that I found using the new Dragonair with the Jet Cruise Dragonite, as well as the new Rayquaza. We'll have to see if the Dragonair Dragonite Garchomp list can start putting out some results. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that snapshot of the meta. And again, you can find all of these deck lists for yourself. All you have to do is go to play.limitlesstcg.com. You go to their completed tab for the Pokemon TCG, and then in the edit tournament filter, you just scroll to Gym Leader Challenge under custom formats, and then it will show you in chronological order the most recent webcam tournaments. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you next time for the next GLC TV video.